RoboGamer1HD is a copyright abusing rat. Now, I'll be addressing the false copyright strike made against my best friend TFReaper, who is also, I'm sure as many of you know, is a smaller content creator within the Transformers Reactivate scene. This is both disgusting and straight up illegal. We all know that Robo does not have any copyright ownership over the Transformers Reactivate or Transformers Rise footage. The true copyright holder is Hasbro, and the precedent for this was set back in 2022 when I first leaked the original cutscenes for the game. Right? Because at that time, I received 2 channel strikes and takedown notices directly from Hasbro's lawyers, making it clear who holds the rights to this content. Robo's actions are not only deceitful, but also a blatant misuse of YouTube's copyright system. Furthermore, Robo is not only engaging in these false claims, but is also facilitating a toxic environment inside of his Discord server, Re-Energized. One of his mods, named Shinny, went as far as doxing a minor, revealing personal information about TFReaper without consent. This behavior is not only unethical, but it is also illegal, yet Robo continues to allow and even seems to encourage it. Now, with that being said, the harassment from RoboGamer and his associates, including those in the Re-Energized server, has been relentless. Both I and TFReaper have been subjected to constant harassment, insults, and the spreading of misinformation and propaganda about us. It's gone so far and become so obsessive that they are even dragging in unrelated matters, like my newly created Warhammer channel, into their smearing campaign. This isn't just trolling, it's obsessive, targeted stalking behavior. I've also had to deal with Robo's friend, TFHypeGuy on Twitter. Bear in mind the account's size in comparison to mine. He has constantly harassed me, and what's worse, he has no issue turning a blind eye to anything that would apply to his friend Robo. In one of his tweets, he stated that, "I truly believe once DpzLuna departs the community, Reactivate's community would become infinitely better. We legit do not need him at all, and his egotistical behavior does not help." With that being said, I'm sure you can already see the irony in this quote, right? Because to go back to all of it, after all the drama surrounding Robo stealing my leaks back in 2022, he wants the public to believe that he does not want any drama. But frankly speaking, his actions speak differently. Someone who truly regrets screwing me over wouldn't have their friends and an entire Discord server where, I should note, I and all of my associates are banned for no reason, constantly shit-talking me and defaming my character and credibility. These are not the actions of someone who wants peace. They are the actions of a resentful, self-centered piece of shit. And let's not forget that Re-Energized, the community that Robo cultivates and supports and owns, is not only a breeding ground for harassment and defamation, but is also happy to harbor known pedophile defenders in their server. I guess these are the views also accepted within Re-Energized. This kind of behavior is unacceptable, and it reflects the toxic and abusive environment that Robo and his friends are fostering. Right now, I quickly want to touch on Robo and Sanders, right? Because Robo has a history of using Sanders as a source for his own content about Transformers Reactivate.
Earlier today, we had some insider news regarding the game. Now, all you may know is that Transformers Reactivate is rumored to start marketing in spring of 2024, with the potential of a end of summer release. If you've been following my videos lately, these rumors have been circling from a trusted source. I've been talking and watching Sanders recently as he has ties with the industry. To talk to you guys about all of the things that Sanders/Greg said in his live stream today. All right, this is exciting news. Some of this info comes from Sanders, also known as Transformers Generation 1 on YouTube. He has close ties with certain people, and he also has documents regarding Transformers Reactivate, one of which regarding max level endgame content. Now, he mentioned it was a tab within the document that mentions high level bosses that we as a team will be able to fight against, and he agreed with me that it sounds like endgame rating. Now, we have Transformers Generations, the person who has leaked the gameplay, also known as Sanders, which I have multiple reasons that he is a known liar in the Transformers community. just so that he could stay relevant, basically.
Despite now dismissing Sanders as a known liar, Robo frequently cited Sanders in his videos as a source of insider information and even promoted Sanders' content to his audience. This contradictory stance raises the question, if Sanders is so unreliable and is a known liar, why did Robo even use him as a source in the first place? Right? Because now if Sanders was a credible source only when it benefited Robo, how can anyone trust the validity of Robo's past content? From my point of view, Robo's actions suggest that he places little value on trust of his audience. His erratic behavior, frequent contradictions, and willingness to pivot his narrative based on convenience all points to a disregard to those who consume his content. He seems more interested in maintaining his position as a leading voice in the community than in delivering accurate and reliable information. Robo's pattern of behavior shows a clear tendency to manipulate the narrative to suit his needs at any given time. When Sanders' information was useful for creating content, Robo was quick to embrace and promote him. However, when Sanders' actions began to undermine Robo's standing, Robo swiftly moved to discredit him. This opportunism highlights a self-serving approach where the focus is on preserving his influence, rather than maintaining any real commitment to accuracy and/or integrity. Now let's stay on that point for a second, because Robo further undermined his credibility by casually dismissing the lack of promised updates for Transformers Reactivate after repeatedly building hype around big news for the game.
All I can say is something big is coming soon. I promised I wouldn't share the details regarding what this information is about. This information was just thrown my way, and I can't even talk about it. If you've been following me, you'll know that we've seen a lot of hit or miss over the years. However, this particular information I received from a source is very reliable.
Robo abruptly shifted his tone when those updates did not materialize. He dismissively stated,
"If March ends up not being the start of marketing, then really, who cares?"
Right, because leading up to this dismissive comment, Robo had actively encouraged excitement among his audience by stating that significant news and/or marketing push for the game was imminent. He portrayed it as coming from inside information with reliable sources, which fueled anticipation. Robo's repeated statements created an expectation that substantial updates were only a matter of weeks away, leading to many in the community to believe that he had credible knowledge of upcoming events. But now, when March finally arrived and no marketing updates or news emerged, Robo's tone quickly changed up quite dramatically.
"If March ends up not being the start of marketing, then really, who cares?"
I would like to also include the fact that all of this regarding the big news, all of this inside information that he claims to validate sources wise, well, it was all just made off a fucking guess. The entire thing was just made off a sheer guess that it would happen, as he stated it at the end of his recent video regarding the gameplay leaks.
In March, I claimed a video that big news was coming soon, and I was super excited because this information actually did come from a confidential document from a Hasbro employee. However, this might have been related to the May thing instead of Hasbro Pulse. I made assumptions about Hasbro Pulse.
You're telling me credible, reliable information you vet? And it was a guess? I can't even. Alright, back to the video. Another point is when he disregarded the community's clear feedback regarding the release of leaked cutscenes from Transformers Reactivate. Robo created a poll asking whether or not he should release leaked cutscenes before the official marketing campaign by the game's developers, Splash Damage. The poll was straightforward, and the results were equally clear. 65% of respondents voted for Robo to wait until after the official marketing campaign began. Despite this strong feedback from his community, Robo chose to release the cutscenes anyway. This decision blatantly contradicted his earlier statements about respecting the game developers and his audience wishes, right? It's making it very obvious to everyone the difference between his words and his actions. If you ask me, this is just blatant disrespect to not only your audience, but the community at large. This is very obvious that it's just for you to go after views, relevancy, and generating engagement. Need more be said, it's a cut and dry case. This action implied that his own interests, such as increasing engagement and channel growth, were more important than maintaining community trust or honoring the game's marketing plans. right? From my perspective, these actions, ignoring his community's feedback on the cutscenes and dismissing the lack of promised updates, reflects a deeper issue with how RoboGamer views his relationship with his audience and the wider community. He seems more focused on maximizing engagement and maintaining his status than being a genuinely accountable individual or being transparent. It's time for the Transformers Reactivate community to see these individuals for what they are: toxic, hypocritical, and abusive. They have shown no respect for the rules, for others' privacy, or for any sense of fair play. They aim to dominate the conversation by silencing others, spreading false narratives, and creating an environment where only their voices are heard. It's disgraceful, and it's something I won't stand for any longer.